what is happening, friends? The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. Irvines.com is the website. Yes. Oh, I was just bragging to a friend of mine about how it works there. You know, the whole process of show up. You know, everything's done online if you choose. They want to make sure that they keep you safe. They send you an email with all the work that needs to be done. You hit the green button if you want it. Do. Yes. You don't even need to talk to them. It's all explained there. They even post pictures of the problem. This water pump is fucked. They won't say that, but that's basically how it is. All right, yeah, I need that. So you get the actual look inside the trouble spot to show you exactly what brakes are corroded, need to be replaced, and then you see the picture. It's like, oh my God. It's kind of like working with the tech as your car is being worked on. You see this here? This is going to explode, and if you any minute, you got to get this fixed. You know, how often do you wish you like, boy, I really wish I could see what is being worked on right now. That's how they do it at Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid. They are on 44th Street, just east of US 131. Check them out and, make an appointment. Just give them a call, 616-532-6600. While I'm at it, Baldwin Ace Hardware, the kings of DIY awesomeness in the Northland. Thank you to them for being on board with the show. I tell you, the appearances by the Queen of the Forest are going to be pretty rare going forward for the school year unless the school gets shut down. But when she does join me, the Queen of the Forest segments are brought to you by Baldwin Ace Hardware. So, if you're going up north, end of the summer, we got Labor Day coming up. Don't plan on going to the big box store wherever you're living right now and haul it all up there. Just get it at Baldwin Ace Hardware. The Ace Hardware brand is known for the whole concept of smaller is better, less is more. You don't need a gigantic warehouse for all of the things that you would need. You need an Ace Hardware. That's what you need. Thank you to Baldwin Ace Hardware up north. And last but certainly not least, got to do this right. Oh my God, JM Synthetics. Yes. I need to go online to jmsynthetics.com and buy like a couple cases of oil or something like that so I can have even more props, because as it is, all I've got is the firearm lubricant, the brake and parts cleaner, and the heavy duty degreaser. Now, let it be known, these are products outside of like the firearms lubricant that I will probably never use because I'm such a loser when it comes to DIY stuff. What do? I get frustrated, start to cry, and then I call Irvine's. So, it's kind of all there. But nevertheless, some of you will want to take advantage of the savings and the amazing products that AMSOIL makes and sold at jmsynthetics.com. Now, look, when you go to jmsynthetics.com, buy something, and then I will know that, and then I will send you an Eric Zane Show podcast hat for free, okay? So seriously, I want these hats out the door this week. So if you're within the sound of my voice, the first 5 people that go to jmsynthetics.com and buys anything, I'm giving you a hat, all right? I'm throwing in the hat for free. I used to sell these for $15.95 till my merch stand got blown up because frickin' Jericho decided he wanted to be a gay dancer or something like that. I have no idea what the hell that guy's deal is. But nevertheless, I still have the hats. So get these hats out of my house. I don't want them anymore, all right? Go buy anything so that Jason can say, yeah, it's boring. Dean just bought some brake and parts cleaner, and then I can send him a hat. All right. Here we go. It is August 31st, 2020. So glad you are here. Better late than never. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
And now, Here's a guy who has never won a congeniality award at any radio station anywhere. I will fight you in the streets. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast with your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Here we go. It's a daily show talking news, nonsense, and my personal adventures each and every day of the week. All right, thanks a bunch for being in. This week, at the end of the week, I am going to give away four $25 gift certificates to Howard City Lanes. I'm starting to get a feeling that Governor Whitmer is going to finally loosen the death grip on bowling alleys. She has been hanging on with both hands, of course, to Big Dick Donnie's Johnson, just hell-bent on not opening up the bowling alleys, of all the things. And I can't say for sure about that. I saw a story that she is very close to opening up, like, the gyms. And I think what you're getting there is you're getting kind of like, well, fuck it. It's not going to get any better than where we are right now. And I think she might be like, all right, do it. I mean, she's not going to cure the pandemic. That is not going to happen. So you might. She's the last holdout, man, to do this. So hopefully that. If that does happen, it all works out for the best and people stay safe. You know, we still do have this whole pandemic thing. And then, but I didn't see in the article that bowling alleys were included in that. So I'm hoping to God that is the case. We shall see. So I've got these four gift certificates to Howard City Lanes, which includes food. You can use it for bowling. Thank you to Rick from TC Paintball for dropping the $100 to make that happen to help out Big Dick Donnie. And, I'm really looking forward to when the bowling alleys do open up, because we're going to have a blowout. We're going to have a bowling orgy at Howard City Lanes, and we're all going to go, and we're all going to spend a ton of cash with Big Dick Donnie to help him get back on his feet. Donnie is a fragile flower. It was just a birthday for him on Friday. Denny Fake News is a pal of his, and Denny Fake News hired me on Cameo to bust Big Dick Donnie's balls, and I did that badly. Oh, my God, was it devastating. Just ripping him a new one. You can see it at cameo.com/Eric Zane. It's the most recent one. But, we're gonna make that happen. I want to point out that I have the four gift certificates. Here's the thing, though. The podcast, if you just go and start drawing out random names, odds are people are going to be far away from Howard City Lanes, or, they're just, give it to somebody else or whatever. So I am going to make this drawing exclusive only to people who email me. So you must email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Subject line, bowling. All right? Subject line, bowling. eric@ericzaneshow.com. I don't care if only one person does it. If that's the case, that one person is getting four $25 gift certificates. If four people do this, I'm not necessarily dealing with Howard Stern-sized numbers in doing this show, but still, I'm giving it away. If four people sign up, then you're each going to get a $25 gift certificate. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that that's how I'm going to do that Friday. Okay, man, my mind is going in about 1 million directions. I know I'm going to go back and forth, bouncing between topics. That's usually how it is, especially on a Monday. I'm freaking 15 minutes late. But I'm telling you, I was writing the show, and I'm really excited about this show. There is a lot of things going on that I must get into, including my trip up north. this past weekend. I got back last night, went up to Fear Bunker North, marred by high points for some of you because of storytelling, things I will talk about. But for me, I'm on the receiving ends of these moments that if you were watching a video of, you would laugh. But on my end, it wasn't that funny for some of them, and downright scary, and in some instances, downright disgusting, marred by a sickening stench on the way up. I'll detail that. Rodents and the fear of death crept across my heart, both for me and this guy right here, O'Neill. Wow. In all of my years, I have never had a closer call to losing a pet suddenly this weekend. Now that story, there's nothing funny about that. And hell, I mean, I know you guys care about me, you care about the dogs, you care about the family, everything. So that was just scary as shit, and I will detail that. The world was shocked with the passing of T'Challa, Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, Wakanda forever. Did you see that deal with LeBron James? He now has two things to do. Well, at least he did when it comes to the national anthem. Dude took a knee before the big game, and he did the Wakanda pose for the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Got an epilogue from Friday's TV story with my dad and Kenny. Man, that I didn't know how that story was going. I honestly didn't even know how that was going to go and how to tell that story. And then it just kind of happened. And I got a lot of feedback from people who really enjoyed that story. So thank you for the comments. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I have an epilogue. I have more to that story. The local kite extravaganza was more exciting than ever. Oh my gosh. This one has video that you have to see. A lot of you may have seen it. It looks like it's out of a movie. You know, if you had all the special effects in the world, you could never make it look better than the real thing. So this was the most incredible thing you'd ever see at a kite event. And, well, even further than that, I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. It will forever change the landscape of kite flying events. The safety protocols must now be in place. Never again will we be able to see it. It was a one-time thing, because after we saw it, and I know I'm leaving it vague, some of you didn't see it, you're like, what the fuck is it? I'll get to it. It will forever change how those events are run, and we will never see anything like this again. Because now they're going to like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I didn't know this could happen. Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters is still one of the nicest souls in the world. Okay? I've got video audio to prove it about how long till this guy cracks, because, I mean, seriously, he's always doing fun shit with, like, random people. All right. Sports moments I saw over the weekend. There was two that come to mind. I'll detail those. They were absolutely fantastic. Go, Elon, go. Elon Musk with news about how he may be able to give mobility to people paralyzed with a brain implant or who do not have limbs. This is straight up iRobot shit going on here. All right? A nightmare comes true for a city official in the Philippines as he thought his Zoom feed was turned off. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. There has been one instance on this podcast where I thought the podcast was done, and then shut it all down, and the camera was still on. And then if I remember correctly, one of the dogs got sick and puked. So I was like, oh my God. So I had to rush over and like take care of the dog or something like that. And then my phone buzzes and it's Pellerito saying, man, you're still on. You're still on. I'm like, oh my God, thank God I didn't like drop my pants and start beating my meat or something. Holy crap. But yeah, so here we go. Fear Bunker North. I was excited about taking this trip up. So this was a little bit different. I am just jumping into my dad's truck, the Embellisher, and just driving up there, and I'm actually going to stay inside the Pontiac Chief. If you don't know, this is a 1952 trailer. Super long, not that wide, and back in the day, you would like tow this thing from place to place, but it's ridiculously enormous. I think you just tow it. They wanted you to tow it with your station wagon and park it somewhere and leave it there in the old school 1950s trailer park, you know? I don't know. But this thing is a walk-in museum, as most of you know. I've already detailed that. But now it's been there since like 1970 or so. And I bought the property from my dad, and to go inside of there is absolutely a walk back in time, so I just love it. Now, most people who know me, who are like, hey, just burn that thing down and build a structure. And I'm like, no, man, I really want this. Even my wife, she's like, I don't want this anymore. And I'm like, well, no, I'm going to turn this around. I want to flip it. And it really doesn't need much work on the inside, just aesthetics. But one thing that has constantly been a problem is the mice. But before I get to that part, we're driving up. It's me in the truck. And by the way, I have become my dad. It's remarkable of all of his kids, his actual blood children, Norman Bummer, World Book Jim, and me. I am becoming him. And you know, you all know my dad's personality, and when they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, my apple is right there at the base of the tree. Outside of the numerous divorces, we are the same. I have one marriage; he's on his third. So, okay. When I say I'm becoming my dad, I mean our personality is very similar. He cannot sit still. I cannot sit still. We both are drunks. The fact that I bought the property off of him, the fact that I bought his truck off of him, all these little nuances and things that are making me him. And I'm like, awesome. I think it's great. If I'm like my dad, I'm a happy son of a bitch. That means I can do what I'm doing right now forever and ever and ever. Yes. Thank you. I'll take that. There are some bad parts that I won't get into. I probably don't want to be part of, but nevertheless, this is awesome. Driving my dad's truck up north, and I got O'Neill in the back seat, Bruce in the front seat, and it's just me. Diana's like, I'm not going up there, especially if you're staying in that trailer. You know, those mice, I don't want to be up there if there's proof of mice activity. So, yeah, I'm driving up, and, everything's going good. I'm just happy to be able to get away for a little bit, do my thing, putz around. My idea of fun is so embarrassing. My idea of fun isn't go up there and ride a side-by-side, though that would be fun. I'm actually thinking about buying one of those damn things one day. But I just love being up there. I just love sleeping in. I just love having my coffee. I love, trying to figure out how the mice are getting in. Building a fire and then picking up sticks and throwing them on the fire. I mean, that is so... I hate it when people come up with me because I'm like, if it's not Diana, because Jackie and Justin say to me, hey, can we go up north too next weekend? And I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to be worried when you're bored. Because my idea of a good time up there is doing what I just said to you on this camera. It's really lame I mean, if you like just sitting around, maybe read a book or something like that, I'm your guy. You can just sit there. I don't want to entertain you, okay, because I want to do my own thing. So that's how it is. Driving up, anticipating the fun of arriving and, picking up sticks, and then it happens. I smell it. Now, the smell of a dog taking a dump in the car is really, really impactful, and it's unmistakable. It's so much more concentrated than a dog fart. There's three things that can be affecting you. 4 things: dog puke, which is less on the stink scale usually, unless it's O'Neill, because O'Neill eats poop, and that's like a fucking half-baked or twice-baked potato of shit. If he does that. But no. So, that one might be the worst. If O'Neill eats turds and then 2 hours later pukes the turds up, yes, that is the absolute. There goes the banana. Good morning. Welcome. Enjoy that one. That did not happen. I think that is the worst thing that could happen. And then you also have in the mix dog fart. I think that is the least impactful. Third impactful if the dog actually takes a dump in the car. That might be 2. I'm leaving 1 out. It's the one I'm going to talk about because that's what happened. So 1 is twice-baked dog crap. 2 and 3, battle it out. It's up for debate. Second place, there's a battle between actually taking a dump in the truck and O'Neill's anal glands. Okay, first of all, I don't know what those are for. I don't know why a dog has a spot on its body that is loaded with some type of chemical. And to my untrained brain, what is the point of that? Is it just there to make you sick? Why are they? Is it a defense mechanism or something like that? Is it maybe it's to like mark or something like that? It has to do with reproduction. I have no idea. But all I know is that in that truck, I smell it, and it's unmistakable. But it's like, what is that? It's not as stomach churning as a dump. So I guess I would make this 3rd on the list. But it hangs. And when it hits, it's ridiculously powerful, and then it just fades. As soon as it gets in the air, it's going to fade. Even though, and O'Neill, I can always tell him because that had happened because it bugs the shit out of him. It's going on, and he's kind of like chasing his tail, trying to I don't know what he's trying to do, but then I figured it out because I think he's cleaning up his own mess because he starts licking the seat of the truck. So I'm guessing that in the back seat of the truck, he has done it, and somehow this anal oil has squirted onto the seat, and he is now cleaning up his mess. Now that is just so fucked. Think about that. How do you not throw up while driving? The smell was just terrible. I look back there and he's fucking cleaning it up. Oh my God. Oh, what the hell? Oh, and I'm like, Jesus, that would be like if you or I took a dump on the floor and then said, oh, hang on, I got this. Let me clean it for you. And this is man's best friend. These must be really, really great creatures if we love them despite this. O'Neill has 2 major flaws. What I just described to you, and then eating crap with twice-baked poop. This is not a lovable creature then. If you have a creature that does that, you don't want that. Why would you say, yes, I love you so? But there he is. Despite those inadequacies, unbelievable, charming, the most lovable dog I've ever had in my entire life. But yeah, at that drive up, I hated him because it happened not twice, but 3 times. Oh my God. So yeah, it happened. Hell, it's happened when he's been in my lap before. He thinks he's a lap dog and he'll be there and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, oh my God, get down, get down. Oh. Okay. We finally get up north. And now again, I'm staying in the trailer. And so I'm a little bit concerned because it has been a constant battle with rodents, and it's been a little bit of time since I haven't been there. Now I have in the past found gigantic nests in drawers, and the smell of the mouse urine it's right up there with cat urine. I mean, it is bad, and I have had to burn so much stuff since I got into there because of damage from these mice. And every time I go in to that place, I find yet another spot through my investigative procedural work that the mice are getting in. And, my dad has always been like, I can't figure it out, but I keep finding spots where the mice are getting in, and then I block them. Last time I was up there, I thought I had found the last of the spots where they're getting in. So I was really excited to get in there and see if I was successful. I was not. I went in there and it smells like death because there are dead mice in the traps. Thank God I've got traps everywhere in that place. I mean, I don't even let the dogs in there with me until I pick up the traps in case they're not sprung. A lot of them were sprung. So I'm like, shit. I had 3 dead mice in there, and they'd been dead a while. So it's like, hadn't been there like a month. So, oh my God, I gather this shit. I'm like, oh man, so this is bad. There's evidence of little mice shits on spots that, God, on the countertop. So that I know this is going to be an extensive cleaning again and disinfecting again, bleach water, the whole deal. And then I'm like, all right, so the dogs are outside. They want to get inside and pick up the traps. I haven't yet let them in. And I'm like, all right, I'm going through each cupboard. And then I open up this one closet, and there's a shelf. And now I had an unopened package of toilet paper. It's now open, and a mouse has shredded the toilet paper to make a nice, comfy bed. And, it looked pretty comfy. So I'm like, oh, my God. Well, it's sure enough that one of the mice, he made his bed, and then he went wandering around, and he got stuck in the trap. Oh, for God's sake. Now something else to clean. So as I'm closing this closet door, this piano hinge is old. It's creaking as I shut it. And as the light that is on behind me fades inside of the closet as I shut it, I see a little bit of movement. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I open the door a little bit. And inside of that ball of toilet paper confetti, fucking Ratatouille is popping his little head up like, hey! And he looks at me, and he's really good at making that confetti. It's so minute and little, it's actually hanging off of an ear. He's got one mouse ear, and the other mouse ear actually has a little piece of the toilet paper hanging off. And he's like, oh, hey, a friend. And he's little. And I'm like, fuck. And I can't kill them when they're alive like that. The trap has to do it. So I just look at him, and he steps down slowly while he's looking at me. Little brown guy. And he's like, and he's not really scared of me, though. And I'm like, hey, mouse, what are you doing? He kind of just walks along this top shelf, and on the wall of this compartment is a slat. it's an opening, and I see him kind of struggle up, and he grabs onto it, and he's like, I'm really uncomfortable with you here. I'm going to leave. Sorry. It's like he knows he's caught. The mouse actually looks like O'Neill when he eats poo, and I yell at him. He's got that did you ever see those videos, dog shaming? When the dog's done something wrong, hey, O'Neill, and the dog's like, oh. That's what the mouse is doing. He's like, oh, hey, yeah, it's great in here, and I found this nice bed or stuff to make bedding out of. So he's like, I'm going to head out. I'll see you later. Sorry about this. It's like that guy who got busted for the homeless dude staying at the stadium. Did you see that story? So he's sitting there. The mouse is walking up to this slat where he can get out, and I'm just watching him. And then I go, you know what? I'm going to follow him. Maybe it'll lead to where he's getting in, and it did. So next to this, he's now going out of this compartment, and he's now into the area where there's this old rickety kerosene furnace that's not in operation. So now I go to the other side, and I see him like, hey, I'm coming through. There you are again. I'm coming out. And then he jumps onto this one spot of the furnace and shimmies up to a spot where I did not know was an opening, and he goes, look, and he's gone. He is now on the flat roof of this outside of this old ass trailer. That's how he went. That my dad, when he put this furnace in, the furnace goes up through the ceiling, and there's no flange. There's a flange there to prevent this from happening, but it's not really. It's put on there in a shitty way. It's not really screwed down tight. So the little fucker, I see his little tail, and he's gone. And I'm like, son of a bitch! He just showed me where he went. Man, this is incredible. Now I know. Okay, so that is another spot. Don't know if I got all of them. We'll see. That they're getting in. So at some point during the weekend, I gotta block this off. So in fact, that night, it's thin metal. It's like sheet metal. Okay, and behind it is the ceiling of this little trailer. And so as soon as I get a screw through, like there's not enough screw holes, and I don't have a bit to drill through the sheet metal, So, but I've got screws, and I'm going to do the old screwdriver on the screw, and then with my right hand, left hand, I'm going to hold the screw while I put some serious torque and turn it. Okay. And then the tip of the screw is going to go through the little sheet metal flanging into the wood, screw it down. The fucker's not going to get in the hole. Okay? I'm doing that, and I'm turning. And it's the screw is kind of going into the sheet metal, but the sheet metal is pretty strong, so it's holding fast. What happens? You know what happened. First of all, this screwdriver that I'm using is way too long. You needed one of those short, stubby jobs, And so you ever hold your hands over your head for too long and your shoulders just start burning on fire? I know Boring Dean doesn't experience this because he's too ripped, but my weak ass, I'm like, yeah, by the time I do one turn, my shoulders are on fire like I've done 3 straight hours of P90X. I'm like, fuck. And I can feel my strength is getting weaker and weaker, and there's no torque hardly on that stupid head of that pan head screw that I'm putting into the metal, turning. And again, screwdriver's way too long. What happens? The fucking screw or the screwdriver slips right off the pan head. It goes, poof, stabs the shit right out of my index finger that's holding the fucking screw. Oh my God. I thought for sure it went through my finger. Thank God I'm weak and there wasn't a ton of pressure on it, but man, did it hurt. It still hurts. Didn't make me bleed or anything like that, but I thought, oh my God, I just stabbed myself. Son of a bitch. All right, so I couldn't actually get the screw through the metal. I'm just too weak. I needed to get a drill bit, but I didn't have one at the time. So for the night, I just fucking duct taped the shit out of it. The next day, went up to the store and got myself a drill bit, fixed it. Yet another hole blocked. Okay, but by the time I left there, I set all the traps again. I didn't have any more. By the way, there was another incident where I don't know if the mouse that I saw that was really happy with the bed that he made, somebody had babies, and I don't know what happened, but there was a big, giant, tall bucket, and I don't know how or why this happened, but there was 5 baby mice in there, all dead. They had fallen in and could not get out. So I'm like, what just happened here? By the way, a lot of people are like, man, you can make your own mouse trap. You just put antifreeze in a bucket and the whole thing. And I've seen those. But again, I don't want to catch mice in there. I want to keep the mice out. I don't want the mice getting in at any one point. And so every time I go there and there are more mice, we are taking, the queen of the forest is further and further from ever spending a night in there. Okay? So it's very important that I can't lie to her. I just can't do that. I don't want to lie to her about it. It's very important that we do have mice success. But I even found another spot later in the weekend under the sink that could be an entry point, and there's a hole, and I stuffed in the hole Irish Spring soap, which is a repellent. But again, I got to block the hole. Then I was able to block the hole. Okay, so fingers crossed that the next time I head up there, which is this coming weekend, that I will be able to be, free of the mice. My God. All right. But that's not the only ridiculous thing that happened. I shot video when I was up there because part of the reason that I went up there was this Forrest Gump riding lawnmower. If you ever saw the film Forrest Gump, you see him in Alabama on the stupid thing mowing the football field. I've got one of those, and it's in deep, deep shit. There's something wrong with this thing. It's burning oil bad. It's so damn old, probably 50 years old, 60 years old. Well, I'm going to take it to the local dudes in town, get it fixed. I've got this ramp set up where you can drive it right on the back of the truck. And my brother-in-law, Mike, and I shot video. You can see it. I'll link it up here in the show notes of the podcast. It's also on my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Getting it on the truck was no problem. We had great success, but we did have some trepidation about it at first. Now, initially, we were going to just put the ramp, which is an aluminum ramp. It kind of looks like a ladder, but it's not, and you can drive things like this right up on it. We drove it from inside of the shed, which is elevated, so the angle of the ramp is not that bad. But when you get to the place where you're going to take it to get it repaired, there's no shed there. You can only have the ramp on the ground. So now the angle is much more steep. It's probably a 45-degree angle, okay? And getting this thing off of there, I was concerned. And shooting the video, you'll see at the end of the video where I'm stuck. And I say to Mike, I go, shut the video off. I think I need your help. I did. That was panic-filled. Oh, my God. You would not believe the sensation. Here I am on this riding lawnmower. There's no roll cage in this. If it tips, you're fucked. I'm going back down off of the bed of the truck, down this ramp in reverse, and I can feel the front wheels going, hey, what are you doing there? We're ready to bounce off of any solid surface and go flying backwards. Now, if it flies backwards, I'm going to go like this. And it's going to fold me in half like a Portuguese man of war. And my head is going to be crushed. And I will have, good news, 45 million views. Bad news, I'm dead. Or I'm fucking Daryl Stingley. I'm like this for the rest of my life as my neck is broken. Hey, guys, can somebody wipe my ass? I'm a quadriplegic. Hey, guys, somebody help me. Can somebody please change my shit bag? Ah! So I feel the wheels just popping up. And so you'll actually see me in the video lean forward. I'm trying to put any weight to the front of this thing. And then I'm like, Mike, I'm scared. You got to help me. So I had to shut down the video, and obviously it worked. Got that thing down. And then when I got it off of the tractor, off of the truck, Tony's brother, Don, who works over at the power equipment place, he's wiping his hands off. He's probably just washed his hands with some fucking lava soap, and he's like just shaking his head, looking at me like, what the fuck, man? And a couple of the locals who are picking up their power equipment are there. And this place is classic, man. The outside of it is it's like a graveyard of these old lawnmowers and shit like that. And that assholes like me drop off and say, hey, can you fix it? Well, we'll try. And then they'll probably say, no, it's fucked. It's going to cost you $3,000 to fix this thing. And then the guy who owns it goes, yeah, well, you keep it. He goes, thanks. And then it's like pick apart, So I'm now adding to the power equipment graveyard as I drive it. I go down where I put this thing. Because put it over there next to that one. Everything's old and fucked up. So he goes, what seems to be the problem? Hey, man, it's spitting oil. It's burning oil. And it even seized up on me. He goes, oh, God. He goes, are you serious? I go, yeah, man. He goes, well, this is ruined. I go, yeah, but it starts. He goes, Dad, doesn't matter. Are you losing power? I go, yeah, there's hardly any power in this thing. He goes, oh, it's fucked. He goes, I don't even know why you're wasting the time and the money to have me even look at this stupid thing, but I will if you insist. What the hell? Who knows? And he goes, okay, if I take a look at it, it won't cost you much, but if I repair this thing, it's going to cost you so much money to repair this stupid thing. You could take that money to repair this piece of shit Forrest Gump style one. I could get one of those zero turn ones that like you're sitting there like Captain Kirk on the Starship Enterprise. Within 3 minutes, you're done mowing the property. So I'm like, yeah, all right, have at it. I go, well, if it's fucked, Don, can I interest you in buying it? I think I got to buy the ball. He goes, no, I'll just let you. No, you just leave it here and we'll sell it for parts. Yeah, but you're going to make money off that. He goes, well, then come get it. Well, then you come get it. You go, what are you going to do with it then? I go, nothing. You got me. He goes, you're damn right I got you. Now get the hell out of here. You almost got killed in my parking lot. So I packed up my shit and I go. I head out on the back door and down the street I go. She be hot about the front rent. She be lucky to get in the back rent. She ain't going to get none of it. So that's, let's see. What else did I have? Okay, I had, what I was there. I'm searching my brain right now if there was anything else I wanted to tell you about this trip. No, I think that's it. I think so this week it is fingers crossed on whether or not there's more mice there. Okay. Just putting a crazy end of the week. It was a nutty week last week when you think about it. We had up and down. We had high point moments. Panic attack was just a disaster. It was 1 week ago when I was discussing panic attack with you. My God. There was the shit show of getting in that fucking war with that pain in the ass former listener who I have batted that around in my brain for extended time about was I too harsh? Was I not? And I am typically I am when I respond with a heavy hand on something like I did, usually a short time after, I feel badly about it, and then I go back and try to undo what I did. But I haven't done that in this particular incident regarding this asshole who pissed me off so badly last week on Zaniacs United. And that is saying a lot to have me, who I constantly do what I just described to you. I keep every time I start to convince myself that I was too heavy-handed, I play it out in my head and I go, no, fuck that. You didn't do anything wrong. Don't you dare feel bad about what you did, you pussy. You let that fucker have it, and he deserved it. And what keeps bringing me like, oh, maybe I was too heavy, because this person was really, really nice to me and very kind to me and my family for a period of time. But even that, the offense was so strong that there will be, as of right now, no going back to that unless if that person actually comes up to me, apologizes to Ben publicly, and apologizes to me privately. That then and only then would I consider it. Otherwise, I'll just become numb to the whole thing, and I will get over it, but I'm still fucking pissed. My God, am I still pissed about that? Holy crap. All right, Joe Martinez, get this. I have a little bit of time left to talk about this. If you know somebody who is really kind of in a bad spot, maybe needs a little boost and wants a little love shown their way, Joe Martinez has volunteered time, energy, money, equipment, and love to install a brand new high-efficiency furnace into someone's home in West Michigan. If you know someone who wants to be on the receiving end of this very kind gesture, please reach out to me via email. Do not let the person that you're thinking about who should be a recipient of this know, and just write out the details. It must say in the subject line, Joe Martinez or A&E Heating and Cooling. A ampersand E, Heating and Cooling, okay? And then give me the details as to why you think this person would just get such an emotional boost from this by having Joe carry out this act of kindness. Okay, Joe came to me with this, so I'm just telling you what he wants you to hear, and then I'm just kind of like the go-between. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and then we're going to read all of these emails. And at the end of this month, we will have the recipient decided upon. And then by the 15th of October, Joe Martinez will install that. Okay, so I wanted to keep this out in front of your brain in case you forget. But if you think somebody would be an excellent recipient of this, because like when Big Dick Donnie received that love from you all from helping him, people buying gift certificates, strangers and businesses alike, and then giving those away in the podcast. I mean, not only did that help out Don financially, but it was the moral element of it that made him say, my God, son of a bitch, a lot of people really care for me. I got to keep my act together. I got to keep focused because I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to do the same damn thing. So this is all part of building this whole beautiful, loving, infused by God network. So that's how it goes. So reach out to me, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I'm also super excited as we are now days away, September 4th, 7 p.m. right here in this studio. I got a little bit of arranging I have to do with the studio for my show with Ben Glaze. We're going to podcast live right here and throughout the month of September, once a week, every Friday throughout September. You don't need to change anything. You will see it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Facebook brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Periscope video on Twitter. Did you hear that? On Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT, and on YouTube as well. And of course, I will publish the audio on demand wherever you download podcasts or at ericzaneshow.com. So people are like, we've been talking about names for the show. I don't know, man. Ben likes touching tips. And touching tips is funny, but it's, there's already a sexually charged titled podcast between us. Ben has balls out. I don't know if I want to do the sexual thing. I mean, his balls out logo actually has jizz droplets and splotches on the logo. Okay. I'm a 50-year-old man. I don't know if I want to be doing, hey, Madison, what's your new podcast called? Yeah, Touching Tips with Ben Glaze and Eric Zane. No, I don't know if I want to go down that of the whole touching tips thing. Ben also liked Back in the Saddle with Ben Glaze and Eric Zane. But I kind of want the title to somehow reflect what it is we're talking about. And I don't know if a title of a show can accomplish that. So I have no idea, really. I said to Ben, I go, I'm kind of just have it on autopilot as the show naming. And I'm just going to think about it. We might never have a show. I'm sorry, we might never have a name for the show is what I meant to say. But I got to, in order to do the show, I need, this table that I'm at is too wide. I need something more narrow and not as long. And so I got to go to the store today and buy it. And they need to be in a V, okay? If you ever seen the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Media, his is in a V so that the host can not only be looking at the camera, but with just a turn of the head, they can look at who they're doing the show with and very easily see them face to face. If Ben is next to me and we're side by side, I'd be like, so, and I have to turn way to my left. Hi, Ben, how are you? I'm awkward. This is stupid. So the less movement, the better. So we're going to have to, basically, I'm going to do the Friday podcast like I always do. Maybe sometime ahead of time I'll have it set up, but if not, I got to set it up Friday, so I got to go to the store and get a couple of tables. This is called growth of the show. This is needing to grow, needing to move furniture because I don't want to move shit just for the sake of moving it, but I actually need to kind of like rework things. All right? So that's I'm really excited about the show. How the show is going to work. Fuck, I just don't know. I just, honestly, I look at this as kind of like a soft open because I don't have, some shows have a niche. They actually talk about specific things. We're clearly not going to do that. I expect it to be kind of like give and take between us and discussing things in the world. Hey, what did you think about this? It might be a review of things that I talk about on this podcast, like Black Panther guy dying, that type of thing. And then it's invariably going to lead to some serious discussion, some fun discussion, just being idiots between us. Ben and I have been doing podcasting for a long-ass time. Our skill sets have changed dramatically than when we were on the radio. And I knew we were onto something when we did the free podcast AMA, the reconciliation show, if you will. And though we hadn't been in the same room in a year and 8 months, it was like I had just been away from him for one day. And people pointed that out. We knew what the fuck we were doing. And I was happy with that. It was, it was fun. I even saw on the Glaze and Hayes Reddit, one of the fuckfaces who was very pissed off at me and I banned off of my asshole free Reddit page, Hazmat something or other. He talked about how he loved it. And now he's banned from my Reddit. Now, I don't remember particularly what he did. I don't sit around and go, wow, how did you make me mad? All I know is that he was murdering me over all of that bullshit that happened in the past. So I banned the guy. But now I'm not pissed anymore. So I need to lift the ban hammer off of that dude. And maybe slowly but surely over time, we'll be able to lift the ban hammer off of people. But for every one you ban, there's always one you got to ban. I haven't banned anybody in a long time, but shit, nobody goes to my Reddit anyway. Reddit.com/r/Eric Zane. All right, there you go. The opening of the Eric Zane Show podcast, long and crazy as it is and was. The show continues to grow in length. I love it long. Blue Frost IT. Alan is on his way to becoming a podcasting legend. He's the dude behind Tech Tuesday. We do that, we think, once a month. Tech Tuesday with Alan from Blue Frost IT. Blue Frost IT, they are a managed IT service provider. Alan has been doing this line of work for years with his better half, Ashlyn. but they decide, let's strike out on our own and do this. We feel like we've learned a lot from the IT industry, enough to be able to do this on our own and save the people money, and we can be our own boss. That's called a startup, and I love them. They came to me. So if you engage them, help spread the word about Blue Frost IT. They engage small and medium-sized businesses as the tech support for them. So basically, businesses that otherwise would not be able to afford that type of service, they're kind of like, well, we're just going to wait until our shit breaks down, and then we're going to scratch our heads, lose money, haul all of our equipment to fucking Best Buy and have the nerds fix it, or the geeks fix it, or we got to pay an arm and a leg to have somebody come here and fix it, and it's really going to screw us right in the butthole. Oh, my God, what do we do? Well, what you do is you pay like a very little amount each month, and you have tech support all the time. And then Alan and the crew are constantly engaging you. Hey, by the way, it's time for updates. We need to do an upgrade. We need to do this. Do you need that? It's having your own staff. Blue Frost IT, that's where you get more information, or just call them at 616-200-8550. For your kids, they can also upgrade your kids' shitty, slow computer that they're using for school now all the time, online learning. And your kid's been bitching about, Dad, this computer sucks shit. Can you get it fixed? Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll buy you a new one. Your wife's like, no way, you're not spending $800 on that. Call up Alan and get a solid-state hard drive. That's the problem. He'll come to your place, take about an hour, and about $300. 616-200-8550. Any questions, reach out to me. Green Clean Technologies. You can reach out to them. Zaniac will. GreenCleanTechnologies.com. They are also in the tech industry, but for companies that have data centers, they keep it clean. They make it so that stuff does not blow up, because all the fine, minute particles in the air and oddly charged static landing onto your data centers, your servers, is going to blow it up, man. You got to make sure that environment is as sterile as a hospital, sterile as a hospital room. 989-560-7272. Every time that area code is wrong on this script, and I'm changing it now. All right. 989-560-7272 for Green Clean Technologies. Mario, I heard from him. Mario Flores from the Mario Flores Van Dyke. Damn it, I'm just sucking this hard. Just sucking this hard. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505, NMLS number 3035. In my head, I keep thinking of all the things that Pellerito is going to do to make me look like an asshole, because I can't figure out my words. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Get into a mortgage. 231-332-6505. First time, 10th time. You name it, that's who you call. Okay. Thank God that's over. That was a fucking nightmare. All right, little epilogue from my dad regarding the TV. Okay? That story on Friday had a lot of impact with a lot of people. And it ended with, you didn't really know what happened, because Joanne was freaking out because she had to return the TV. Kenny was flipping out because he didn't want to inconvenience them. Well, the Patreon happened. And so Kenny reached out and he said, hey, man, I'm just getting over the sadness. Do you think maybe you call your dad and ask him what the hell's going on with the freaking TV?
I need a titty in my mouth.
And I'm like, yeah, good idea. So we did an impromptu Dear Meathead with my dad. And I'm not going to play it for you, but I'll just give you the blow-by-blow account. And he was, again, extremely happy, which is a little weird, because when I got up north, I was talking to my brother-in-law, Mike, and he goes, yeah, I heard that your dad got a TV. Yeah, and we also heard Joanne was losing her mind, and I go, yeah, that'll happen. He goes, and your dad was so upset at her, he wouldn't talk to her. I'm like, what? What is going on? Now Mike exaggerates big time. So what I'm guessing happened is, based on what I told you, which was all true, I'm guessing my dad, who, like, I remember I told you the dementia, he gets agitated and worried. And ultimately, now when I'm with him, he doesn't do this. But you know how, like, when you get really comfortable with somebody, like a wife or a kid or something like that, and you're kind of like, oh, you let them have it. You hurt those you love the most. Isn't that the thing? I think that might actually have happened. There was so much ridiculous, over-the-top, unnecessary pain and suffering of Joanne and my dad worrying about how it would look that they had to take back that TV. It's like, you people must relax. If I'm the one telling everybody to relax, the world's not right. Trust me. Get dad on the phone. I am just so happy and grateful for all of you. And he's kind of like giving a preview of what he's going to say Wednesday on Dear Meathead, which he is just going to, I mean, he might even cry when he's talking about all of you. I'm going to send him a list of names, by the way, so that he can talk to you all directly. He goes, I want a detailed list of everybody who has decided to help us with this. And he goes, he was a little embarrassed. You know, he's like, I am embarrassed because I am not destitute, okay, guy? I go, that isn't it at all. They just love you. That's all it is. That's what you do to people that you love. You do nice things for them, okay? I know, guy. I'm just flattered. I go, just go with it, man. You know? I mean, it's only me who has people do nice things for them, and then they turn around and treat me like shit, which happened to me last week. It didn't actually treat me like shit. No, he did treat me like shit because he treated somebody that I care about like shit, and then he tried to put me in my place by treating me like shit. So there I go. I'm clearly not over it. I go, Dad, just go with it. Okay, guy. And then Dad is like, I go, well, take me through it, Dad. How did it play out? Well, we took the 50-inch TV back to Walmart, like you said. I go, yep. And we had the proof of purchase that you sent me. I go, yep, just like we planned. Good deal. And then we went to the counter. They help us, and they give us a gift card for the amount, and that's a lot of money. And then we go and we take the gift card. Now, all you need to hear, all you would think is going to happen is they then go into the store, get a little bit smaller TV, and then buy it and go home. You'll notice in the Patreon that I kind of wrinkle up my nose and smell shit, like I'm smelling shit when I'm in this part of the story, because then Dad, we're thinking he's going to go left, everybody listening on the Patreon, and then he immediately goes right, because I made it clear. You just go in there, you turn it in, they give you the gift card, you go get another TV, and you leave. So then they give us the credit and the gift card, and then we went to Best Buy and bought a TV. And immediately I'm seeing like question marks on the text, and that one emoji where the yellow faced guy has his hand up to his chin like this with the one eye, like with that what the fuck face, you know? And I'm actually making that face. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Go to Best Buy. That's one we didn't see coming. Yeah. I go, well, wait a minute. Why didn't you? Yeah, what we decided to do is we will take the gift card money and we will then go and purchase groceries with that money, and then I will go and get the cash equivalent from my bank account and take it to Best Buy to buy TV. No idea. Not sure. At that point, I had no clue what was going on. And so that was it. I spent the whole weekend. I didn't ask too many questions. I didn't want to screw him up on the podcast, on the Patreon. He did make it more clear to me yesterday, because you're probably wondering, what the fuck happened? How did you manage? It wasn't as weird as what we all thought. Okay, he actually had a particular TV in mind. If by chance Kenny had gotten a 40-inch TV, that would have been perfect. They would not have then done what they did. But what they did do with the 50-inch, they took it back, and then they actually had in mind a particular brand that they wanted, and it was available at Best Buy. So you bought him that TV is what it was. Now, again, had it had been the right size, they would have just said, oh, fuck it. No big deal. But for some reason they had, I don't know what brand it was. But yeah, it was virtually the same thing. But people are, when they get, we stick by this brand. I don't know, brand loyalty perhaps, but that was what happened. So that is the epilogue of the TV. Thank you so much to all of you for doing that. That was really sweet, and they are just so happy with that. He can't wait to share his thoughts with you about it. All right. Chadwick Boseman passes away. That was a shock. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? That kind of caught everybody off guard, man. Here, when I see it shows up on my phone as because I had to adjust to the giant font now because I can't see. And so a lot of the notifications I get, it'll say only a handful of words and then ... It won't be able to get the whole headline in because it's bigger font. And it says, Chadwick Boseman, 42, star of Black Panther, ... And I go, there's no way that, 43, that it's going to say has died, right? So sure enough, I got to click on the fucking thing and it opens up and I'm like, what? Has died at his home. So it wasn't like it was a car accident or something like an accident. Something killed this guy that was like a disease. What is going on? And colon cancer. My God. And this dude, this is rare, I think. Not everybody can do this. Because misery loves company. And if you have cancer, I know if I get it sick, I'm going to be like, oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I've got cancer. I'm going to die. You got to help me. I'm an open book. I'm not private at all. It's just how I'm made up. And I think it's a rare person who gets it and doesn't tell a soul. Okay. Now I'm assuming his family knew, but this guy made movies knowing he's in deep, deep shit. And performed amazingly with grace and style and strength. How the fuck did he pull that off? Man, a terrific actor. Chadwick Boseman, dead at 43 of colon cancer. It emerged in his, entered on the scene in his life as stage 3 cancer. And it became stage 4 cancer. Now that stage 4, that there's no going back at that point. So you can, oh God, please don't let it get to that point. And it did. And so I'm just basically kind of looking at his Wikipedia. The world can't believe it. He was in that film Jackie Robinson. He played the part of Jackie Robinson. The film was 42. Which this is all in a weird cosmic way. And that film came out in 2013, so he didn't have it then. Because yesterday in baseball was Jackie Robinson Day, son of a bitch. The whole league wore 42 on their back. Jackie Robinson, of course, broke the color barrier in baseball. So Boseman was in that film. It was a great movie, by the way. Played the part of Jackie Robinson. About all the shit that guy went through in breaking the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers. So for him to pass away on, it was it Friday night that he died? Yeah, I guess it would have been Friday night that Chadwick Boseman died, the night before the weekend of Jackie Robinson Day in baseball. It's just kind of strange. They're real unbelievable coincidence. He also played part of James Brown in a film called Get On Up in 2014. Did not see that. Thurgood Marshall about the Honorable Judge Thurgood Marshall, right? He was a judge. Am I getting that wrong? Yeah. I'm always scared when I throw stuff out. I'm like, I don't know if I'm right. In 2017. And then, of course, T'Challa! Wakanda forever! In that film, Black Panther. He won an NAACP Image Award and a Screen Actors Guild Award. And gone too soon, man. Everybody was just shocked with that. Not a lot in the wiki about his death. It just says he was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016. Eventually progressed to stage 4 before 2020. Never spoke publicly after the diagnosis. During treatment involving multiple surgeries and chemotherapy, he continued to work and completed production for several films, including the film Marshall, a film called Da 5 Bloods, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Is that a porno? And others. He died at his home as a result of complications related to colon cancer on August 28th, 2020, with his wife and family by his side. Gone too soon. Chadwick Boseman, my God. Everybody loved that guy. All right. Rest in peace, Boseman. All right, so now something else I wanted to get into, completely unrelated. Just saw it. It's a story about Dave Grohl, who every time I turn around, Dave Grohl is doing something really fun. I just saw some guy who does a podcast, reached out to him and was like, hey, buddy, how are you? And all of a sudden, he invited him to the conversation. And sure enough, all of a sudden, there's Dave Grohl on there. Hang on a second here. I don't have this ready to go, and I got to get it. I apologize. D-A-V-G. Thank you, Kevin and Muskegon, for sending this one along, and for any of the rest of you who have ever sent any stories. It's always so very helpful, and this one was just awesome. The kid's name is Nandy Bushell, who's just a unstoppable force behind the kit, an amazing drummer, 10 years old. Whenever you see these kids doing these things like they've been doing it for 30 years, it blows my mind. And this kid is no exception. Let's see. Nandy, shit, where is it? Damn it, here we are. Fuck, I am circling the drain here on this show. Stand by. This is what happens when you rush to get... Let's see. Nope, can't do the story. You knew it was doomed. I don't have the audio ready. I will save it for the Patreon. That sucks, because I really wanted to talk about it. All right, let me regroup here. Horizon Hydroponics wants you to go to their website, horizonhydroponics.com. Use the offer code Zane Show to save 10% on whatever it is you buy at Horizon Hydroponics. 4 locations. You got Grand Rapids on Alpine, the Growers Outlet in Byron Center, and then, of course, Kalamazoo and Lansing. Thank you to horizonhydroponics.com. I think I'll be seeing them live this weekend, be doing a Facebook Live with John from Horizon Hydroponics. Looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that. Metalworks Body Shop. Metalworks. If you crack up your camper, travel trailer, fifth wheel, that's where you're going to take it in Coopersville, Michigan. Thank you to Metalworks Body Shop, online at metalworksbodyshop.com. Or if you go to their website or my website and click on their logo, it'll take you right to their Facebook page. BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. Anywhere in the United States, if you reach out to BK Guns and Stuff, they can fix, refurbish. They can clean, upgrade, customize your weaponry at BK Guns and Stuff. Get to their website by going to ericzaneshow.com. Click on the BK Guns and Stuff logo. All right, back on track. Did you see the video of the kid? Holy shit. What a thing. Man, I tell you what, kite flying competitions will never be the same. They have upped the ante on the excitement. It's in Taiwan, which in this freaking location that they're at, you've got everybody with these enormous, really incredible kites that look to be, the actual thing that's going to catch the wind is about the size of a sail on a sailboat, okay? And it's enormous. And the tail that is coming down, like if you and I fly a kite at the Cub Scout event, it's made of paper and you got the wood making the cross in it, and you got the tail to keep it stable. I mean that to me was a big deal. But this is just incredible. And this kite that these people, these officials, and all these people that are watching it are hanging on to it, and the wind is just blowing like you wouldn't believe. And they're hanging on for dear life with this thing. And the kite itself is surrounded by people. Young, old, skinny, fat, little, really young and little, and light. Oh? And this tail, it's not like a little ribbon hanging off the back of our Cub Scout kite. It's about as wide as a queen-sized bed sheet and about as long as, it's probably like 30, 40 yards long. And the tail is whipping, okay? And they're getting ready to let it go. And all these people are going, oh, yeah, let's go. Let's get this shit on the road, man. Come on. And so they're hanging on to it. And they're like, all right, get ready to go. And they let it go, and it goes shoo, like one of fucking Elon Musk's rockets, just right into the sky. And it's like, wait a minute, everybody should be cheering and clapping. Why are they screaming in horror? Why are they screaming at the top of their lungs? Oh, my God. This is so awesome. The greatest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Oh my God. You're like, what are we witnessing, Eric? Don't worry, I'll tell you. I know how to do a show. The fucking tail, like some type of monster serpent, when they let it go, went around a kid's neck. It was possessed by Satan and said, I will take a child. Just grabbed the kid. And the kid, 1 second later, is 500 feet in the air. Oh, my God. Just, and you're like, what the fuck? And all these people are like, what? Are you kidding me? The kid is getting strangled, being hung like fucking Brooks and Shawshank, except by a kite. Terrible reference. And just flying around like no problem. No problem. And it's like, oh my God, what are we seeing? So there is 1 billion things that could have gone wrong here, more than what we already have seen. But a 3-year-old is flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, is this unbelievable. Anytime you watch this video, the news people started, like on the Today Show this morning, the dude goes, you need to know that the kid's okay, but let's go to the tape. It's that, it's because you think, well, there's no way that kid's alive, right? And so, amazingly, some awesome dude who knows, because when you're flying that thing, there's a guy hanging onto it, and the kite's going through the air. The dude, even though the thing's whipping around crazy with the kid, it looks like a really absurd special effect is what it looks like, okay? He manages to somehow bring it down so that the tail where the kid is gets close to this mass of people, and they grab onto the kid. Oh, what a ride. Kid is fine, and we have, seriously, that's the most outrageous thing you're going to see in a long, long time. And now, can you imagine how the safety protocols will be in place for the next fucking thing, the next Taiwan kite festival or anywhere? No, that will never ever be where you can all gather around like that. If these fucking murdering kites are going to grab babies at will and just fling them into the air, can you imagine if the thing let go of her and like flung her like 3 or 4 miles? Oh my God, I cannot believe that happened. I can't believe it survived. I can't believe no one ever thought that. They had to have known that that's a likelihood, right? Or maybe not. It's so absurd to think about that a kite could just snatch a kid, like that kite could fucking just snatch a kid, like one of my former fucking coworkers, and just take off with it. It's absolutely remarkable. Can you tell that joke just came to me? All right. So that's the kid survives, which is a miracle. But you might want to you can do that as like if you really wanted to up the ante. Say if you get snatched by a kite, you win $1 million. By the way, we have kite sweepstakes. You can go the other way. Bring your kids, and bring your kids. If the kites grab onto any of your kids and takes them, you get the $1 million prize. I'm guessing the insurance for these things just went up exponentially, and if they ever do another kite festival, they will have a perimeter set up so that nobody gets grabbed. But my God, that was absolutely incredible. Holy shit. All right. Where am I now? Oh, sports over the weekend. Now, frankly, I'm not that excited about too many things sports-wise these days. I will say that I have been watching your Tigers. Go get them, Tiger. I listened to the Tiger game on the radio yesterday. I actually enjoy listening to the baseball games. I think maybe more than I like it both equally. But I was actually up north at Fear Bunker North listening to the Tiger game, and the fucking Tigers swept the Twins. And the Tigers, they're pretty streaky. They started out okay, and then there was a real rough patch when they lost many games in a row. But they've won quite a bit lately, and they're climbing the standings. And they swept the Minnesota Twins, who are ahead of them. So I wouldn't say that they're going to do anything. There's 8 teams in the American League that make the playoffs. And in terms of record, they have the 9th best record. So they're on the outside looking in, but there's still about 28 games to go because they're 16-16 now. So they've been doing fairly well. And this little fun thing happened the other day because one of the most hilarious, congenial, and friendly and awesome dudes who's just fantastic in the league is Miguel Cabrera. And he's a Hall of Famer is what he is, and he can still hit the shit out of the ball. He's still super productive at his age. And he just got his 2,000th hit. I have a hard time saying that word. Thousandth. I want to say thousandths. Thousandth hit as a Detroit Tiger. Empty stadium. What do you do when a milestone happens? Because they put on the Jumbotron 2,000th hit as a Tiger. Well, the crowd wants a curtain call. Trouble. No crowd.
Honoring him for his 2,000th career hit. Too bad fans can't be here, but his teammates were, and he took advantage with the curtain call.
He looks at this is a wave to you and I, Shep, right there. See?
Oh, man.
I don't know if you can tell what he's doing there because you can't see it, but he does a curtain call. He walks up the steps, waves to an empty stadium. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers, I think, are they off today? Diana said they're off today, but last I checked, baseball doesn't have too many off days. I see something else, too, that just caught my attention. I'll get to that in a second. Oh, come on now, please. Yeah. Tigers play Tuesday. Hold on a second. Where are they? Okay, I'm looking at the AL Central. They're 16-16, 4 games back of the White Sox. And the Indians and the Sox are tied for first. The Twins are a game and a half back, and the Tigers just swept. Tigers are 4 back, so that means that they're 2.5 back of the Twins for third place. All right, go on. Go get them, Tigers. John Thompson just died. This dude, holy shit, a legendary basketball coach. John Thompson, he led the Georgetown Hoyas. I think his kid is the coach of that team now. He passed away. This news just came down, 78 years old. This guy almost was involved in 9/11. I remember there was some story. It was a weird turn of events. I'll look it up because I know I'll fuck it up otherwise. Let's see. John. Hold on. John Thompson. I cannot type. I can't see. Fuck. Put on your glasses, you dumb son of a bitch. John Thompson, 9/11, Jim Rome. Yeah. I heard John Thompson. Why did I take the glasses off? I have to read. What the fuck is wrong with me? Dumbass. John Thompson's surreal 9/11 story. This article. Everybody has their own 9/11 story. Many of these stories are simple as vivid memories of the morning itself. Where you were, who you were with, what your teacher said when the announcement came over the loudspeaker. Others are every bit as tragic and confusing to the day itself. This from Iman Brennan, ESPN writer from back in 2011. But John Thompson, at about the time of this writing, Thompson visited with Jim Rome on Rome's radio show where he told his own story in harrowing detail. The details are this. In 2001, Thompson was set to fly to New York to do a long negotiated studio interview on Jim Rome's show. John Thompson wanted to be able to do the interview and still make a friend's birthday party in Las Vegas on September 13th. So he booked a ticket, excuse me, on American Airlines Flight 77, departing on September 11th. That did not work for the show, whose producer Danny Schwartz asked Thompson to instead push his flight back to September 12th. Thompson did not like the change, and he told Schwartz, hey, man, I don't like it. I want to do it this way. Schwartz persisted and said, I'm sorry, Coach, we really need you. In order to do this, can you please do us a solid? Thompson finally gave in. After the events of 9/11, Thompson's house... Hang on. Excuse me. I had to clear my throat. Where was I? Thompson, okay. Thompson's house is near the Pentagon, and he felt Flight 77's impact as it crashed that morning. The Georgetown icon realized just how lucky he had been. The whole interview is well worth the listen. I'll actually link this up for you. Rome even put Schwartz and Thompson on the phone together. Thompson's assistant said, you were supposed to be on that plane. If that kid hadn't talked you out of it, you would have been dead, Thompson said. The strangest thing about it was it's hard to be elated about all of it because of what happened. I'm appreciative. I went on my porch, smoked a cigar, said my prayers, but at the same time, You can't be too jubilant about it. But had it not been for that set of circumstances, I would not have been on that plane I would have been on that plane on September 11th. When Rome had Thompson speak with Schwartz. Let me tell you something. If you're ever in D.C., look me up, Thompson said to the producer. I was antagonistic in those days, and how you handled it saved my life, and I appreciate that. Wow, that is incredible. John Thompson, legendary basketball coach, dead at 78. Kevin and Muskegon, it's like the freaking sports podcast. I almost said forts. What is my problem? So there was a golf adventure that happened over the weekend. What was it? The BMW Classic? Or I don't know. The BMW Championship. It comes down to this. One final shot for a guy named John Ram? I think it's Ram. Oh, who gives a shit? Dustin Johnson is the leader. Okay? So, from what I can only guess these two are tied, and there's one shot left in the whole golf match, okay? And Ram is 66 feet away from the cup. He's so far away that he's almost not in the camera shot. He's like teeny tiny. Imagine 66 feet away. If you were on the ground and you looked up 66 feet, that's 6.5 stories virtually. That's how far away he is from the cup. If he sinks it, he wins the match. And so everybody's like, well, there's no fucking way. I mean, let's get serious. He's just going to hit it. It's going to kind of roll there, and they're going to go, and Dustin Johnson wins the BMW Championship. This is actually in the playoff portion of this event. All right, so they had forced a playoff. Here's the shot. He hits it, and you'll hear a lot of silence. That's because it takes forever for the fucking ball to roll close. And then they're like, uh-oh. Happy's going to sink the putt. Happy learned how to putt. Oh, my God. Check this out. This is, shit, where is it? Did I get it? I swear I loaded this one in. There it is. Okay, I got it.
In style.
Okay, wait a minute. You can actually hear the impact of the putter hitting the ball. Pay attention to how much time passes. That's how far away it is.
In style. Here it comes. Here it. Watch out!
Oh. You hear the 8 people that are there go wild. I need to hear that again. My God.
In style. Here it comes. Here it. Watch out!
Oh, my God. Congratulations. I'm at 66 feet. Is ridiculous. I will link it up. You'll be able to check it all out. I'll put it in the usual spots with all the other links from the show. In fact, I got to write down a reminder for John Thompson. All right. That's your Eric Zane Show podcast sports update from over the weekend. I've got more coming up, including Elon Musk and this latest thing that he's come up with. Oh, my God. You know, a lot of people are like, fuck Elon Musk. I hate him. Why? Because he does weirdo shit. More on that in a second. I really, sometimes I can understand the not liking him, but I'll get into it. And if this works, what he's trying to do, man, my God, more world-changing shit from Elon Musk. And I have another story about my brother-in-law, Kevin, one half of the Doobie Brothers, who now lives with us. 2 more great examples of the lack of filter. I think he is earning the nickname No Filter Kevin from these days because he was one of the Doobie Brothers, but you can't be like the Doobie Brothers if one of the Doobie Brothers is no longer a Doobie Brother. I mean, David died, so the Doobie Brothers broke up, you know? So No Filter Kevin may be the new name. Kent County Health Department urging you to cough into your elbow, be socially distant, wear a mask, please. Okay, they would love that. Also, vaccinations, man. Here we go. First off, it's flu shot time. Get the flu shot now. One less thing you have to worry about it. I got the flu shot last year. It was good to go. And there is a myth. Hey, if I get a flu shot, I'm going to get the flu. That is an absolute falsehood. That is not true. You are not going to get the flu if you get a flu shot. Reach out to the Kent County Health Department about getting yours. You can get it for free if you qualify. Vaccinations for your little ones, okay? Measles, mumps, rubella, whooping cough, pertussis, all these things are terrible things. Do not let your kids fall victim because, you've kind of dropped the ball because of the pandemic. You can get that taken care of for free with the Kent County Health Department. They do have 4 COVID testing stations if you need a test. But, how I feel about COVID-19 right now? Yeah. There's not really going to be any more outbreaks. I think that we're kind of just going to drift in this weirdo holding pattern in Michigan of 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 people get sick a day. But I think people are even getting to the point where they're so not really concerned when they do catch it. Less people are going to go and get the test. They're just going to think, I think I got it. I'm just going to stay home. People are really wrapping their arms around the idea that, okay, I've got it. Now what? Well, relax, first of all. Let's not freak out here. Just let it pass, and you'll be fine. And I think that a lot of people are starting to think that way about it. But nevertheless, if you need to get checked, you can go to one of the 4 testing stations. More information at accesskent.com/health. Okay, the TC Paintball Paint Party is set in stone. Saturday, October 3rd, 6 p.m. This is our first ever weekend adventure. Typically, Rick over at TC Paintball has a full slate of league things, but through a quirk in the schedule, he has an opening for a Saturday event, which means all you people that were like, man, I don't do the work week thing. Man, we're going to have so many people. My God, is this going to be awesome. Free pizza party from BC Pizza in Grand Rapids. Okay, October 3rd is when that happens. Saturday, October 3rd. We are just over 1 month away. I will be putting out an invite on Facebook, and I'll be talking about it right here. And if you've been to one of my events before, I will send you an email asking you if you want to participate. I will not send it to one particular person who attended, but who I got into a huge fight with last week. He will not be there. But if you want to get in and don't want to wait, just send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. I already have confirmation that Kenny and Kenny's kid is going to be there. So we are titling this event the TC Paintball War number 10. OMG, we killed Kenny. That's what we're going to title it. October 3rd. One more thing sponsor-wise to get to right here, and that is this. If you have a business, the first thing you do is you build your Facebook page. You got your Twitter page. You got your LinkedIn, your little YouTube channel. You think you're good to go. You got all your products. You got your We Are Open sign. You got your cash register. You got your little square thing that hooks into your freaking iPads. You can swipey to make some money. Now what? Hey, honey, did you update our big sale on whatever the fuck it is we sell on Facebook? No, I forgot. Well, that's why we're not getting any fucking traction. You didn't set it up. Don't give me your shit. Fuck you. I'm leaving you. Quit fucking around with that, man. Let Stella Fly do all that stuff for you, okay? This is a company that when you say, all right, this is what I'm doing. I'm selling. I sell rubbers. I sell studded rubbers. Okay, Stella Fly goes and makes posts on all your platforms about what you do. They engage the audience through social media. They know how to do that. They know tricks of the trade. You don't. Tap into what they do at StellaFly.com and move the meter in getting more people into your doors with Stella Fly. Okay. Our beloved No Filter Kevin was at it again. Before I get to the Elon Musk story, I'll get to this one. Kevin is the latest addition to the Eric Zane Show podcast household. Kevin lived with Dave. They were the Doobie Brothers. Dave died, if you don't know. My wife's brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law, her brother, suddenly, just over 1 month ago. Kevin and David have lived together. Kevin has a couple of special needs, not a lot. He can't drive, can't work. He is on Social Security disability. He has what's known as neuropathy. Walking is a struggle. Fine motor movements do not work. In fact, when Dave died, Kevin couldn't press 911 on the phone because his fingers are janky. He's got enough strength to give you the finger, and he'll give you that. But it's a struggle. So, he needs somebody to watch over him, help him get his food, stuff like that, make sure he's comfortable. Kev's about 60. Love him dearly. And it's like, no, we're not going to. Somebody said to me, well, are you going to put him in a home? I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? We put him in a home. No, you fucking moron. You bring him in. This is how it goes. This is how it should always be. You don't put people in homes, you asshole. No, he's part of the group. Fuck, Dave and him lived together for so many years. Diane's got to carry the back half of the life. And also, he had epilepsy. It was horrible. And he had brain surgery that eliminated that, and he still takes medicine for it. So he's been seizure-free for years. But the brain surgery and the epilepsy and all the medicine's taken its toll on Kev's filter. So we have these hilarious moments, man. And he every time he says something that's even lovey, it sounds like he's hateful and wants to kill. And so I come home yesterday, and his favorite dog is O'Neill. Everybody's favorite dog is O'Neill. And so he sees O'Neill, and he's in the fridge getting a drink of water, and he sees O'Neill. He goes, oh, my God, man, I miss that dog. I miss that son of a bitch. And I'm like, with Diane and I just started laughing, and he can't figure out why we're laughing. But to him, that's just normal. Man, I love that dog. I miss that son of a bitch. I miss that motherfucker. And it's like, he didn't say motherfucker, but he did say son of a bitch. And so, that's just welcome to our world now. It's just like a incident, moment after moment of that. And they, thank God the kids are all grown, or they'd be getting an earful. It seems like every day I've got another new moment for you. Prior to today, I talked about how Bruce started humping Daisy. And from the other side of the house, I hear, Eric, he's humping her. That little pink dick is sticking out again. My God. So now Diana, when she's engaged with No Filter Kevin, I get quotes that she sends me because we don't want him to stop. So it's just funny, man. And I'm still trying to wrap my mind around an idea of working him into the podcast. Kevin and Muskegon is kind of like, Kevin is always 2 steps ahead of me on talent and what to do on the podcast. Okay. So where he struggles in content, Kevin is stronger at, Kevin and Muskegon, not No Filter Kevin. Kevin and Muskegon is very strong at telling me, Eric, you should be talking about this, or Eric, you should produce this for content. But, so he gets an A for that. And still working on getting the grade point average and actual content execution.
Hey, what's happening? The clip of the day.
But still getting better. I need to do another review of the latest clip of the day of Kevin's. So Kevin and Muskegon, not No Filter Kevin. Sorry to be confusing, but he's like, hey Eric, yeah, Kevin and Muskegon, you gotta get him on the show swearing, yeah. And I go, I know, but that can be alienating, and I don't want to it can't be square peg round hole. It's got to be because there's something there. And he will end up swearing on it. So Kevin's trying to help me. Kevin in Muskegon is trying to help me with that. But, so this is the latest quote. Maybe it'll only be like this, me talking about it. Diana, at 6:42 Saturday night when I was at Fear Bunker North, sent me, quote, if you use Icy Hot and don't get it all off your hands and take a piss, it stings like a motherfucker. So, No Filter Kevin has been having this elbow pain. And so the whole house always smells like fucking Icy Hot. You walk in the house and it smells like a locker room, like somebody's putting Icy Hot on something that hurts. So he's taking an Icy Hot and he's rubbing it on all the time. And I guess he did, and then took a piss and touched his ball. Oh, we could get these moments sponsored on the show. No Filter Kevin's clip of the day. The clip of the day. No Filter Kevin's.
The clip of the day.
Hey, man, if you use Icy Hot and don't get it all off your hands and take a piss, it stings like a motherfucker. And that's kind of how he sounds. Like I said, he grew up in the household where my wife's parents were very, very Southern. Very Southern. The store Meyer is Mars. That's how they, they just the really strong Southern accent. They make Kenny sound like he's from fucking Michigan. So it kind of rubbed off on Kevin, despite he was not born in the South. He lived with them, so he kind of has this hybrid Michigan Southern thing going on. If you use Icy Hot and don't get it all off your hands and take a piss, it stings like a motherfucker. Holy shit. What was the other one Diana sent me? I can expect more coming down the pipe. Really, really good. No Filter Kevin on his way to being a legend on this show. You can count on that. Okay. This news story I saw about Elon Musk, he has unveiled a new device, if you will, that is, let me just describe it to you. It's being described as a foray into science fiction. On Friday, he announced that you would put a brain implant, open up the brain and put an implant in there. Now, right away, I think, fuck, man, what the hell? What is the practical thing? Please don't let it be just, you can just stick your head in a scanner and it can pay for your latte or something like that. But that, Elon Musk has been very inventive on a number of things that right away, people that said, oh, there's no way you'll be able to do this, and he has. I mean, you think about the what he's done with the electric vehicles. And the power that some of those vehicles generate is remarkable. In a technology that a lot of people thought, oh, boy, that's just going to be a sleepy, dopey car, and the thing takes off like a bat out of hell. You got the rockets that shoot up, and they're like reusable, and they land. Oh, my God. And this is what happens when you have money, instinct, foresight, and some brain power. Now, Elon gets a lot of shit for a lot of things for some reason. I remember when he sent that submarine off to rescue those kids that got stuck in the cave, and the guys who were there, they said, this thing sucks, man. It's just Elon trying to get attention. So who knows? Maybe there is a little attention seeking in it, but I don't give a shit, because if we get cool stuff and cool things happen, I love that. Excuse me, got to clear my throat again. And I like him. He's weird as shit, but who cares? The idea behind this is you put the chip in the brain, and if you're paralyzed, you can use the chip and a smartphone to operate robot limbs with thoughts. Hold everything. Chip goes in brain. The chip will allow people who are paralyzed to operate technology. Okay, you wouldn't even use a smartphone. It says you could use the chip technology to operate your smartphone with your thoughts, or you could use the chip technology to operate the robot limbs with just your brain power. So imagine it's in there, and you have a robot arm, and you think it, and the thing goes and grabs something. You know, you pet the dog, you do whatever you do with your fingers. You know, you finger bang, right? Think finger bang right there. You start fisting. Holy shit, this is terrible. But yeah, that technology, I had no idea that they were that far along. He says this is going to blow your mind. It's like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires. That's what he would be installing. A coin-sized chip developed by Musk's secretive startup called Neuralink. Says it's a ways off for being useful to humans. However, he streamed a live YouTube demonstration on a pig named Gertrude. Now, as soon as I read that, I was like, well, hell, you got to tell me that the pig was on the phone and you're telling it to move in a circle and stand on its hind legs and take a dump. It's got to be what's got to happen, right? I don't think so. It doesn't indicate. On a pig named Gertrude, who Musk said had a brain chip implanted 2 months earlier. As the pig shuffled around its pen sniffing hay, a computer beeped and blue wavelengths on the screen jumped up and down. Musk said the computer was measuring Gertrude's brain activity. The beeps you are hearing are real-time signals, he said. The future is going to be weird. Well, that kind of sucks because, I mean, if you do this big thing and all you're going to show me is a little blip on a screen, you know, if you got the pig there that has it implanted, I think he should have waited on demonstrating this until he actually has, you know, a pig, or even better yet, a dude who has no arms and they put fake arms on him, and then he you know, fucking like iRobot punches through a wall or some shit. So I don't know. I think just showing me the blue wavelength isn't really going to land. He says the future is going to be very weird, but the, quote, move fast and break things ethos that defines Silicon Valley has not always been kind to inventors who try their luck in biotechnology. Medical innovation is notoriously slow. Conducting clinical trials to prove the safety and efficacy of medical devices can take years. But there's a lot more to this on what Musk wants to do. It says his track record on safety and science has been mixed. The recent successes of SpaceX came after federal regulators examined fatal crashes linked to autopilot systems in Tesla. I forgot about that. In March, Musk dismissed the seriousness of COVID-19, claiming on Twitter that there would probably be close to 0 new infections in the U.S. by the end of April. Yeah, that doesn't age very well. Musk defied local stay-at-home orders and opened his California car factory in the midst of the pandemic. Nobody cares now. All right, I just want to see somebody smash through a wall, or somebody who normally had no limb usage. Suddenly, it's working. Very, very cool. Elon Musk at it again. I love those stories. A&E Heating and Cooling, thanks to them. If you need any heating and cooling work, 616-516-8579. Love them so very much. AEHeatingCooling.net. It's where you find them online. Joe is installing a brand new full setup for somebody in need. Reach out to me, Eric at EricZaneShow.com, if you have a candidate who you'd like to nominate for that. And thank you again to A&E Heating and Cooling for being part of the show. Same thing goes for Great Legs Winery, Brewery, Distillery. We haven't yet planned our next party. That is forthcoming. I will get in touch with those folks this week and plan our next Great Legs social distancing get-together. First one, we had about 20. Second one, we had about 27. Everybody stayed apart, yelled across the room, and got hammered. Jumped into the car with their designated driver and went home. Done. Thank you, Great Legs. They are in Holland. Okay, you can check them out online, but by just going to my website, ericzaneshow.com, and it'll take you, their logo will take you right to their Facebook page. And stop by on the way home, pick up a case of wine. or maybe some of their beer. Get yourself a growler or a bottle of grappa. Sure to put hair on your wiener. And then finally, Terrytown RV is on Division between 68th and 76th Street, terrytownrv.com. If you're in the market for a new camper, travel trailer, fifth wheel, motorhome, truck camper, folding camper, even those little eco hippie things that you kind of like, I want to get out of town and leave my past behind. I need a new eco trailer. The thing can barely fit you in it. Your feet will be sticking on the back, out of the back end of the thing if you're too tall, but you got your little place where you cook. Take it off the grid, plug in the solar power panel charger, and keep your energy that way. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Thank you again at Terrytown RV, online at terrytownrv.com. So, all right, you log into the Zoom call. You see the usual suspects there. Everybody's kind of doing their thing. It's another boring meeting. How many times you have to do these stupid Zoom calls? It's important, by the way, to look into your camera. If you want to win them over, if you're looking at yourself, like that, and you're not really looking at the camera, you can have more of an impact if you're actually looking at the camera during the Zoom call. Resist the urge to look at yourself. Well, this guy in the Philippines, yeah, it looks to be like any typical Zoom meeting. Jesus Estil is the captain, as it's known, of Fatima Dos Village in Cavite, Philippines. And it's a weekly get-together with, he's the captain, and then you got the treasurer, and maybe someone who's doing the minutes, maybe the local drain commissioner from the village talking about the whatever it is they're working on, maybe the road commissioner. It's all boring-ass shit, whatever. Now you know where this is going. You can probably figure it out that Jesus Estil is going to leave his camera on. Okay, you got to be careful. I mean, just last week I was telling you about the kid who thought that she had muted her microphone in the classroom Zoom session, and she starts talking shit about the teacher, and all of a sudden you hear the teacher say, "Hey, I'm here. I can hear you," and she's like, "Oh." Well, Jesus Estil is there, and the people that are watching the Zoom are there, and it's not a public thing, but it became public because it became a news story because one of the other people that works for the city, I think it's the treasurer. You see her walk into the room, Estil's like, "Oh, Jesus Estil's all right, thanks everybody." He clicks end, and then he's sitting there, and the treasurer comes in. He's having a conversation with her. And then all of a sudden, Jesus looks at her, and they're having a conversation. And then Jesus stands up, and, while she's getting on her knees, he whips out his dick. Yeah. Holy shit. And everybody's still watching. The whole group is sitting there, and
you need to learn how to suck some goddamn dick.
Oh, she knew how. And Jesus is like, "Oh yeah, all right." And then if you're watching the video, it's all blurred, but she's clearly on her knees, and Jesus is there like, "Oh boy," and then you can see all the faces that are watching it, and they're like all mortified. And then Jesus walks back to the camera, and his Johnson is hanging out. And I don't think he's yet done, if you know what I mean. But you see him reach towards something, and I don't know if a bottle of lube was next to where the camera was, or he thought maybe he realized it was on, but that can't be because he doesn't shut it off. He then, after he walks up to the camera with his pecker hanging out, he then shuffles, because his pants are still on, back to where she is, and bends her over. And from behind, he starts taking her to Pound Town on the camera. At this point, I can only wonder if dude's wife has seen it. But the shit is rolling downhill real fast. Now, no word if he was actually throwing it up the dirt pipe or if he was just doing it doggy, okay? You can't really tell from the view. But, yeah, it may have been an on-screen, fully clothed dirt pipe adventure right there on camera. So the Zoom meeting really took off like a bat out of hell. It says in the article, and I'll link it up, Jesus still joined the Zoom conference call along with the village council last week to discuss the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the publication is Coconuts Manila. However, still pushed the wrong button, did not close the camera, did what I described to you. It's not right, as the leader of our barangay, one village told reporters, according to Asia One, he should be like a father to us and lead by example to his constituents. Well, I don't know. Maybe he's not married. I don't know that. Well, how is that not leading by example? Having sex with a woman or having sex at all? Everybody does that. What the hell's wrong with that? I mean, he gave you a free show. If he's just having sex on camera, who cares, right? Both the chairman and the treasurer, both people involved, reportedly ended up resigning, according to Jorge Magno, president of the Association of Barangay Captains. Association of Barangay Captains. That's like, I guess, an entity, governing body in the city. The Barangay chairman has resigned for the peace of everyone, Magno told local radio DZBB in Tagalog on Thursday via the Inquirer. He asked for understanding and forgiveness on what happened. Well, he didn't do anything wrong. He just had sex. The Department of the Interior and Local Government, DILG, which described the incident as appalling and disturbing. No. Okay, unless he's married. There's no crime there. Who cares? Going against the public morals and the code of conduct and ethical standards of public officials. I mean, who hasn't rubbed one out at work? I mean, so what? You weren't supposed to see the guy made a mistake. That's his only mistake, leaving the camera on. Boy, they're making a big deal about this. Sending in the ethical standards of public officials and employees. Will send a team to investigate the matter. I think it's hilarious. It's true. This is unbecoming of an elected government official. We assure that we will investigate the incident and make sure the barangay captain liable to whichever appropriate sanction over his actions. Estelle and the female village official may still face charges, even though, boy, they must be really strict there. This might be one of those communities that's really uptight. They've already left their positions. What could you possibly charge these people with? Having sex on camera? My God. And then that's it. Oh, come on, lighten up. Big deal. I say you have a fucking viewing party. You make them do it again for everybody to see. Ridiculous. Bet no one's listening who's been caught having sex in public, either on camera or maybe just... No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to know those stories. I know you all, for God's sake. And I know some of you will send in those stories. All right, coming up on the Patreon, I cannot wait to play for you the audio. Dave Grohl with this chick who's really, really good at the drums. I have to be careful of what I play on that because I'll get a YouTube chicket. Oh, God, I got to end this podcast. I cannot speak. What a mess. All right, that's going to do it. This podcast is done. I appreciate you being on board with it, despite my numerous shortcomings and overall shittiness. Don't forget the new podcast with Ben Glaze comes out Friday, September 4th at 7 p.m. Totally different. When you have two people, it's a different podcast, okay? It's not a monologue. So I hope you enjoy that. Looking forward to that coming up on the show. All right. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go to the email. Boy, everything's slow today, man. The internet is slow. All right, fuck it. I'm out of here. Have a good one, folks. I'll talk to you.